So we're getting new updates from Colleen about where severe weather is breaking out right now, Colleen, but you're saying that's not going to impact us overnight.
No, I think it's going to stay very minimal overnight tonight. As we head towards tomorrow afternoon, that's the biggest threat of seeing those tornadoes. So let's go ahead and start out by breaking down this two separate rounds. The first one is tonight through tomorrow morning. I think the biggest risk is going to be some flash flooding, some damaging wind. Yes, we could see a spin up tornado, but that's going to be the lowest threat when we're talking about tornadoes. As we head towards the afternoon, that is round number 2. This time, it's not going to be widespread. There's just going to be a few supercells that are going to start to fire up. We have all the ingredients. If we have some sunshine, it could produce a long-lived tornado. However, we're not under a level 4 or 5 risk. We're under a level 3, so breaking down that difference, meaning the ingredients are there. That low pressure is sitting right over Ohio, so it is likely to see some of severe weather across the state of Ohio. For us here, we're under that level 3. I think it's possible. We'll start to see those cells start to develop. It could drop a tornado over our area and then continue to develop over to Cincinnati. We could get lucky, get the cloud coverage, and that doesn't happen. That's why we are under it's possible risk, a level 3 out of 5 here. The farther west you go of Louisville, the chances are much lower. Let's go ahead and jump right into that forecast model, breaking down those two separate rounds tonight until 3 o'clock. I think there's only a few counties that could see maybe an isolated thunderstorm around 1 o'clock in the morning from Bedford to Seymour. And then once we head past 2 a.m., that's when we'll start to see some heavy downpours, potentially some flash flooding and some lightning associated with that, mainly north of Louisville. Once we head towards 7 o'clock, that's when it'll get farther south. And yes, that lower threat of seeing a tornado overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. So at least that's good. We can sleep easy, especially if you live south of Louisville. You're barely going to see anything, even tomorrow morning. Now, once we head towards the afternoon, if we start to see some sunshine, that's that last ingredient those storms need to really start to develop, and then we'll watch these individual cells. The time has pushed back a little bit. I think that's the only update. Now around 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll start to see those individual cells start to develop, and that is what could drop potentially a long-lived tornado tomorrow afternoon. And then it'll start to develop really as it heads over to Ohio and then start to fade away as we head towards 7 p.m. So by the time we head towards 7 o'clock, most of those storms will be off into eastern Kentucky and southeastern Ohio, and that is when our threat will come to an end. So as of now, it's possible. It's a toss-up. But what we can expect is some watches to be issued. Tornado watches off to the west. They'll continue to be issued here as that line gets closer. So anticipate a tornado watch for us here. As of now, the only watch that we have in place until 3 o'clock in the morning. A few counties, Jennings over to Seymour and Bedford, are under that severe thunderstorm watch. So not even a tornado watch. So thankfully, not looking too bad overnight tonight. The storms are mainly staying off to the north. Here's a look at that radar. A lightning storm over in Indianapolis, and it's a little bit hard to see, but you see those green boxes. Those are flash flood warnings, meaning that's all it's producing is some flash flooding. Thankfully, none of those storms appear to be super severe, which is why there's no severe thunderstorm warning in place. So I'm going to keep my eyes on those storms off to the southwest. That's what could clip our communities here over the next few hours. But thankfully, we can rest easy tonight. I think the threat will really be past 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then again into the afternoon. Radar locally here is pretty quiet, breaking down those overall weather threats. Yes, it is possible to see severe weather here. It's severe weather season, and we are starting off the month of April. I think the biggest impacts will be the wind, the hail, as well as those tornadoes tomorrow afternoon that are possible here in Kentucky, especially over to Ohio, where they have a heightened risk. So overnight, I'm going to continue to watch the storms on the radar. If something happens to pop up, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. Tonight, we'll have Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine here in early tomorrow morning, and our full team throughout the day tracking those storms and making sure everyone stays aware and knows what's going on out there. We'll have some cold weather as we head towards Wednesday, a high of 51, lows in the 30s, and also some breezy conditions behind it. Doug?